This is the video installation manual for the MRCOOL DIY mini split heat pump system. Part 1. Indoor unit installation. Step 1. Choose and install location. For the indoor handler, you'll want an area with good air circulation, convenient drainage, and that's not within 3 feet of an electronic device. Those systems may cause interference with communication between the outdoor and indoor units. You'll also want to decide where you want the outdoor condenser. For it, you'll need to meet the spatial requirements shown here. Also, you'll want a space that has good air circulation and has firm and solid ground beneath. Step 2. Attach mounting plate to wall. Use the supplied cardboard template to mark the areas where the mounting plate will be screwed into the wall and into wall studs, plus where the wall hole will be drilled. Use a leveler to make sure the unit will be properly placed. Then remove the screw that attaches the mounting plate to the back of the indoor air handler. You'll take the plate and, using the marks from the template as your guide, screw them into the wall with the supplied screws. Make sure the mounting plate is flat against the wall. Step 3. Drill wall hole for connective piping. Using a core drill with a 3.54 inch diameter, drill a hole in the wall at a slight downward angle, with the marks from the cardboard template as a guide. Then insert the protective wall sleeve through the hole, mark the amount it protrudes past the exterior wall, then trim the excess and reinsert. Step 4. Grab the piping at the back of the unit and carefully bend it at the base slowly until the piping points away from the back of the unit at roughly a 90-degree angle. Step 5. Mount the indoor unit. Feed the DIY Pro cable through the wall hole, then carefully lift the indoor air handler and feed the bundle through the hole as you position it to mount onto the mounting plate. Slightly lean the top of the air handler toward the wall and hook the top of the plate's upper hook. Once firmly attached, apply even pressure to the bottom half of the unit until it snaps onto the hooks along the bottom of the mounting plate. Step 6. Install the MRCOOL Smart USB AC controller. Open the handler's front panel and plug the Smart USB AC controller securely into the USB port on the underside of the front panel. Then you're ready to head outside. Part 2. Outdoor installation. Step 1. Place your outdoor condenser. At the location picked during Part 1, Step 1, carefully place the outdoor unit. Step 2. Place your hand on the underside of the piping coming out of the wall hole and, with your other hand, carefully bend the piping downward toward the wall, being mindful not to damage or dent the piping in the process. Then pack the wall hole with the supplied neoprene. Step 3. Unwind the patented pre-charged line set. Use your hands to slowly unwind the piping on one end of the DIY line set. Only unwind as much as necessary for your application, and allow any excess to remain coiled. Step 4. Connecting the pre-charged line sets to the piping from the indoor unit. Align the refrigerant pipes to the corresponding pipes of the indoor unit. Unscrew the seals and tighten the first few threads by hand. Then, tighten the connection using 2 appropriately sized open-ended wrenches, or adjustable crescent wrenches. Once snug, turn the wrench slightly beyond that point to torque the connector, but don't over-tighten. The manual includes torque requirements if you have an HVAC torque wrench. Step 5. Connect the line set to the outdoor unit. Remove the water tray from the outdoor unit. Align the refrigerant pipes so they line up with corresponding valves. Try to minimize the stress on the line set by placing them as neatly aligned as possible. Unscrew the plastic seal of the bottom valve and tighten the first few threads by hand. Then, as in Step 4, tighten the connection snugly and then tighten slightly beyond that point to torque the connector. Then repeat the same process for the top screw connector. Step 6. Open the refrigerant valves on the outdoor unit. Remove the cover on the top valve and then using the provided MRCOOL Allen wrench, open the valve by turning it counterclockwise as far as it will go. The valve is now open. Then place the cover back on and repeat the step for the bottom valve. If you are installing a multi-zone system with a 3, 4, or 5 zone condenser, you'll need to also open the 2 main or king valves above. So open the main or king valves just like you open the valves below and head to the next step. Step 7. Checking for leaks. Using a leak detection spray or a soapy water solution, check all of the line set connections for leaks. If any bubbles begin to form, that indicates there is a leak, and the connection needs to be retightened. If leaks persist, consult the electrical and gas leak check portion of your manual. Step 8. Wrap the supplied sound deadening pads around the connection points of the indoor air handler's piping to the DIY line set. Step 9. Connect the drain hose. Securely connect the drain hose extension to the drain piping hose from the indoor unit. Part 3. Electrical connections. Step 1. Consult your manual. Before starting any of the electrical work, it is important your wiring complies with local and national electrical codes and regulations, and must have been installed by a licensed electrician. Step 2. Connecting the outdoor condenser. Remove the wiring cover by unscrewing it from the outdoor condenser. Then remove the retaining nut from the end of the DIY Pro cable and pull the threaded end of the cable through the hole and replace the nut onto the cable. Firmly and securely connect the wires of the cable to the appropriate terminals of the outdoor condenser by screwing the U-lock connector of each wire to the correct terminal. Then reinstall the wiring cover. Part 4. Test run. Step 1. Test the indoor air handler. Connect power to the unit. Press the on-off button on the remote controller and then mode to scroll through the following functions. Run one at a time for 5 minutes. Select the cool mode, and then select the lowest possible temperature and check the air coming from the handler. Then change the mode to heat and select the highest possible temperature. Check the manual for a more thorough testing process and for any potential troubleshooting. Step 2. Normal operation. After the test run is successfully completed, return unit to normal operating temperature. The final step, enjoying comfort from your MRCOOL DIY system for years to come.